Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Life and Lessons. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you about my PubDate experience. So as you have seen that I have uploaded a lot of videos regarding the preparation of PubDate, how to prepare for PubDate and what are the things that you need to look upon and what should be your score in order to qualify the exam. All of this I have discussed in details. So in this video, I thought of sharing with you about my own experience of giving the exam 1 year back when I was at her place. So let's start. It's a very interesting story. Right, I'm gonna tell you why is the story interesting, but before that, let me tell you certain things. First, I would like to tell you the thing that when did I start my preparation? Right. So yes, my IAC exams were over by the month of March, and I did all the form fill up stuffs and everything. And then in the month of April, I took a little bit break of about 2 weeks, and then I started preparing for this exam. And then it was around like I would say 15th or 16th April, or maybe 20th April from when I started the preparation. And my exam was scheduled on July 27th and 28th. So keeping that in mind, I made all the plans, I made the strategy and started my preparation. The next question that comes into your mind that how did I prepare for the exam? What are the things that I did while preparing? Okay, so let me tell you that as you know that there are not so many videos available for PubDate preparation in YouTube, and it gets very difficult for that reason to uh, you know do the thing. Like, we don't know where to study from, we don't know which are the portions to look upon. It gets very difficult, and I was at a place, exactly at a place 1 year back. I didn't have any idea, any clue about the exam. I didn't know what should I start with, right? Now you have at least the guidances which I'm providing to you, and I don't know whether there are other videos in YouTube as well regarding this topic, but yes, when I was at your place 1 year back, I did not have anything to, look upon or look for guidance. So what I did was that I started preparing History of English Literature straight away. I bought the books of William J. Long, Michael Alexander. I bought only these two books and then I started preparing. So I started from the old English period and then consecutively I did all the ages till the postmodern. I just, I just got the concepts of socio-political backgrounds of all of the ages cleared, and then for that I watched the videos of Aishwarya Puri ma'am in YouTube, who teaches UGC NET students. I refer to that videos, and then I got my concepts cleared about that socio-political background. Number one. Number two, I actually did all the I just studied all the works of all the writers from each period. Yes, I did that because I didn't know which writer to choose or which writer to leave, because I was blank at that time. I didn't have any idea. So what I did was I just started writing, started memorizing all the works of all the writers. But later on, after the completion of all the ages, I started forgetting everything. So what I did, then I decided that okay, now let me think of a smarter way to approach the preparation. So I just picked up several writers, that the ones that I mentioned in the videos for suggestions. Those I picked up, and then I started um, doing them in detail, and I just picked some of the important works from each of the periods and then I studied them in detail. I studied the literary forms used in those literary works, and I studied uh, the certain literary characteristics of certain writers, and I just according, if you tell me about the dates, I can say that I didn't study any date at all. Yes, I didn't study anything because I was too, I didn't have that time to memorize for the dates. Okay, so this is how I prepared. And then I did a little bit of the literary forms, the figures of speech and everything. Grammar and comprehension was in, I was very fluent with grammar and comprehension because we had given the ISC recently, so I had that idea. So a little bit practice from the previous year question papers only, and I didn't spend so much time on doing the grammar and comprehension portion. So yes, this was my preparation. Which happened was that I kept in mind that only 3-4 months, like about 3 months are left for my preparation, and I prepared accordingly. But as I reached the end of May, or the 1st of June, a notice came saying that the exam has been preponed and it is rescheduled on 6th and 7th July. So many dates, so many days the exam got preponed, and I was stuck in the midst of the preparation because I didn't know that this will happen. And so I was keeping in mind the date of 27th and 28th July, and I prepared accordingly. And also I had geography. I was also preparing for geography, and I'm sure that most of you are also doing the same. You're just giving more than one exams, and I think it's good to do because it's better to keep a choice in hand. So I also did the same. I thought of giving the exam in geography as well. So what I did was that I was also preparing for geography side by side. I was preparing for English, although I put in great efforts in English than geography, greater efforts in English than in geography, because I was a little bit inclined towards English. So I did that. I studied all that I could do, but then the exam dates were preponed. My preparation was not that good. I knew it because I didn't get any suggestions at that point of time. I didn't know whether I was studying the right things or not. So whatever I could do by myself, I did all of that, and I just gave the exam. Now then, the exam results came out, and I saw that my marks were like 47.5. This was my marks, and my GMR was 59. Okay, so I thought that I was pretty well sure that I won't be able to get selected, because as you know that for the general, the rank hardly gets beyond 35. It's within 30 to 35 that a person can expect selection if he is from a general category. If you are from OBC, SC and ST, then the ranks might get beyond 50 or 60 or 70 also at times. So basically, I also thought that no, I don't have any chance of getting selected. Here comes the story. Okay. Now, I told you when did I start preparing. I told you how was my preparation, how did I prepare. Then I told you what was my marks, what was my rank. Now the main plot comes in. The climax of the story is that when I was filling the form for this public exam, I did not have that OBC certificate in hand. Okay, that there is a certificate, there is a caste certificate needed at the time of form filling for anything. But I at that time did not have that in hand. I only I had the different documents that were needed, but my OBC certificate was generated in the month of June. So I got that in hand in the month of June. But by then the form fill up had already taken place. So I mailed them, and I approached certain seniors asking that whether it is whether they would accept this certificate later on in the dates of e-counseling or physical verification or not. But they said that just try sending mail to them. So I did, and but they said that no, the documents which are uploaded in the month of March while form fill up, those will only be uh, you know kept in mind while throughout the process. I mean, they won't accept anything later on. So my OBC certificate was not given, and I was calculated as a general category. But I was OBC, so I did not get the benefit of OBC, and therefore I could not get selected. Now, because I knew that the ranks would not go, and also in the e-counseling process and the physical verification process, only up to I guess 49, overall 49, it was the rank was selected. Yes, basically this was my story. I couldn't get selected, and I was disheartened a little bit because of this fact. And yeah, so now I want to tell you what are the mistakes that I made which you should avoid making while giving this exam. So I shared my experience with you guys because I wanted to give you an insight on uh, that way sometimes things don't go as we plan, and things don't go as we expect them to be. So don't get disheartened with this fact. Even if you are getting selection or you are not getting selected, don't let that fact ruin your happiness or ruin your mood or anything. It's okay. It's all, it's just a phase, just a university. I know that you are just dreaming of this university and you're very well attached to this fact that one day you'll just step into that university because you deserve, all of you deserve it. Those of you are hardworking, you deserve this. You deserve the best colleges. But you know what? Sometimes the grass is greener on the other side. What we expect might not be the reality. So, and it's always like a game, if there is a chance of winning, there is also a chance of losing as well. So simultaneously, the game of winning and losing keeps on happening. So I must tell you, my message to the juniors is that even if you don't get selected, please don't get disheartened. Try to keep yourself motivated for the next things to come, because this is the main, one of the major phases of your life where you are stepping into a new world, a new life, a new journey of life into the college life. Mistakes where firstly I did not know where to start from, which are the things that I need to focus on more. So this was one of my mistakes. I didn't have any guidance. Number two was that I didn't have the document in my hand. So this is an important thing, important information that I want to convey. That even if I know that the form fill-ups have already been taken place for this university, but later on when you're getting into another colleges, the admission procedures might need several documents. They will need several documents, and also later on when you will avail for the scholarships in your respective colleges, you'll also have to submit them different documents. Okay, so I want to tell you that please just gather every document. Don't miss out anything. By this 1 or 2 months prior to your college admission, just try to gather and jot down everything that you need, so that you don't miss anything. Your birth certificate, your OBC certificate, all of the important documents that are needed, please try to keep them with you so that you do not miss any chance and you do not face any problems which I faced. This was the number two thing. And number three is that the dates were preponed in my case. So if it is the same in your case, or later on in future, if you are planning to prepare for any competitive exams or any exam of your college, try to make your preparation a little bit faster. Try to keep in mind, just don't keep everything for the last few days, because you don't know what might happen, right? So it's better to be safe than sorry. So always play safe to avoid any troubles, any complications in your journey of life and journey of education as well. So thank you. I hope that it was really useful to you.